Turtle and Hughes presents The Power of Partnerships.
My name is Michelle Bonia, and I run the commercial lighting department here at Turtle and Hughes in Boston or Stoughton, Mass. I've been doing this since 1982, so I've been doing it around 35, 36 years. Electrical contractors that we deal with, they all understand that lighting is usually the most difficult part of a job. They're always looking for somebody who can handle the job, understand their needs, make sure that they get everything in a timely fashion, get their answers, and don't have to chase you for ship dates and things like that. So I've learned that over my 30 plus years of doing this. So I had a job about 4 years ago with a large contractor here in Boston, a union contractor, and there was a deadline. We kept trying to get ship dates from the manufacturer. Come to find out, the girl who handled the job didn't enter the order on time, and so as it usually works out, the fixtures weren't going to be shipped on time. So we had to pay expediting, beg and ask for favors. So I get a call one morning and they're like, "Oh, good news, Michelle, we got all your fixtures out. They'll be there tomorrow." I was very excited. I was like, "Oh, good, I can get this, contractor his answers." So I called him and told him, and he was happy. Everybody was happy. I leave the office and I go home. And I'm having a cup of tea and I'm watching the news and I see a big accident on a major highway here, Route 128. And there's a couple cars on fire and some trucks and everybody got out safe. As I'm watching the news, I see a big 18-wheeler on fire. And I was like, "Oh, please don't let that be my fixtures." So the next morning I come into the office and I call them and I say, "Please tell me my fixtures weren't on that truck that's on fire on Route 128. And sure enough, my fixtures were on fire on Route 128. But, when I called the contractor, he just couldn't believe it. He's like, "Oh, you're making it up." So I actually took a snippet off of YouTube and I sent it to him. He said, "I need something to give to the general contractor." So we had this little video and we sent it and we said, "Well, good news is, your fixture shipped. Bad news is here they are on fire on Route 128. So when all the dust settled, we had a conference call between the vendor, the electrical contractor, and the specifier to come up with the solution. The vendor was going to step up and push back production to get the fixtures remade as soon as possible. Of course, that was going to take a couple of weeks. So the lighting designer and specifier agreed to put in temporary lights. So we had to resource everything and try to find some local manufacturers that would be able to ship fixtures out ASAP so that the electrical contractor could install them. And then obviously when new fixtures came, the corrected fixtures came, they would install them and then complete the job. Obviously the solution was for temporary lighting, so the vendor had to agree to reimburse the electrical contractor, which they did. They stepped up and they paid all the labor to install the temporary lights and then to reinstall the correct lights. A lot of people know that lighting is not always the easiest. A lot of promised dates, and it doesn't always happen. You try to deal with it as best you can. If you stay on top of things, though, you can, really do a good job and sort of work with the vendors to make sure everything gets out on time. Being able to put in temporary lighting and the lighting designer agreeing with it we were able to get the occupancy permits done and they were able to turn over the building. But I think one of the lessons learned is think out of the box. Don't always have just a one avenue of what you want to do or how you want to achieve fixing the problem, and always be upfront and honest with the contractor and the designer and let them know what's going on. Don't try to hide anything. But thinking out of the box, I think, is the biggest thing that a lot of people have to realize. Just come up with a solution, even if you think it's far-fetched.